Hey, what's up? Welcome to Simple or Difficult. In case you're wondering, that's the name of the YouTube channel. But then that's by the way. In this video, we will create this bedroom render using 3ds Max and Corona Renderer. This exercise is even more interesting than the last one we did on the living room, okay? For this project, we'll be working with both artificial and natural lights, okay? We'll be creating some of the materials ourselves rather than relying solely on materials from Corona Material Library. We will use Floor Generator plugin to create our floor, okay, and then we'll apply multi-texture plugin to create a realistic finish for it. All right, so now we'll be doing tone mapping as we go, which you already know, okay, and in the end we will explore post-production techniques using Photoshop, which are a bit different from what we did the last time. Without any further ado, let's jump right into 3ds Max and get started. All right, so the first thing we need to do is import our file, okay, the FBX file that I exported from Revit, the Revit model that I did. All right, so but before we do that, like we normally do, let's first of all check our unit setup and make sure that everything is in millimeters. Okay, yeah. All right, so let's maximize this one. We are still going to change the layout, but for now let's just import. Okay, I'm going to import and I'm going to go over to my desktop. All right, so yeah. All right, I'm going to select this and I'm going to delete that camera. Okay, so let's go over here, right click here and then layout. Select this to the two layer viewport layout type and then click OK. Okay, if I have selected the one I have over here and I've deleted it, so if you still have it, you can easily change yours from that side, but this still works. All right, so I'm going to top view. Let me select this. This is a bed I added in Revit that helped me model the space. I'm going to select it and I'm going to delete all those Revit stuff. I want to now go and bring in the models I will be using for this. Okay, this is the model I'm going to be using, so I'm going to select them like we did in the previous tutorial. If you have not seen it, by the way, and I'm going to copy. Just finish copying. Let me come over to my scene and then open the same copy to again. I'm going to paste it here. Yeah. All right. So first of all, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do composition. I'm going to set the scene. Then the second thing we're going to do, I'm going to set the light. Okay. The previous tutorial that we did, we just worked with, the very basic. Okay. We didn't quite do much. Okay. We just worked with natural lighting and used the default material that we got from Corona. Okay, just like that. But in this particular tutorial, okay, we are going to be working with artificial lights as well as natural lights. We're also going to be creating materials, okay? And also we are going to be using floor generator for our floors. We're not just going to be using map like we used in the previous tutorial. Yeah, let me go and put this one. Okay. All the links are going to be in the descriptions. Okay, the links to this scene. Okay, the model I'm using. All right, the link to the everything is going to be in the description. So do go to the description and check it out. All right. Yeah, this is the model for the spotlight. Okay, we're going to check everything to ensure that they are where they're supposed to be. For this though, I am not sure. Well, I'm just going to leave it for now. If we are doing any shot that is going to, because in this, I think we should do more than one camera. If we have time, we're going to do more than one camera. So in this scene, we might do more than one camera. And if we're going to do that and the door is going to, show in the render that we're going to do, then I'll have to change it. But if at the end of the day we would not do it, there will be no need for me to, okay, let me close this. There will be no need for me to, add it. With this now, let me just create camera. With the camera view, we are not going to set everything that is remaining for us to set. All right. Go over to the camera tab and then select Corona Cam. And draw it. Let me get rid of this grid. G on your keyboard. Okay. So you have to ensure that your camera is selected. Select the camera, select the align to, then select the align to like so. I don't know what was going on the last time. Okay. So I'm going to turn off the target like I normally do. Now I'll come over here and then click C on my keyboard. Okay. That will make this view the camera view. I'm going to type Shift F. All right. That will now show the save frame. I want to use this particular save frame. So yeah, I've set it. Let's raise the camera by 900 first. Okay. I want to turn this view to clay and then add some edge to it. Yeah. So let me make some settings to the camera. We need to be seeing the things that are here. So focal length at 5. Okay. In the previous video, I told you for interiors, I normally use from 35 to 45 millimeters. Okay, it can be 50 sometimes, it can be whatever I want sometimes. It just depends on what it is I'm doing. Okay, like I keep on saying, interior is an art. Okay, when you want to do something, you just look at it and see whether or not you should add or remove something. Okay. It's not too. I don't see it as something too technical. It is an artistic endeavor. All right. Yeah. So this camera is not okay. We need to still work on it. So let's do that. All right. We need to take it back some more. Okay. We need to take it back some more. Now, as I keep going back, you see, the camera is leaving the room. And what happens when it leaves the room is we are outside the room. So obviously we are not going to see what is happening inside the room. Okay. But there's a setting we can, put in place that even when we are outside the room, we can still be seeing what is inside the room. Okay. That is in the environment and clipping. Okay. With the camera still selected, we need to go down here. All right. To environment and clipping. And then we need to check enable to enable it. All right. And the near clipping, the way it works, okay, it will have two clips. Okay. The far clipping, which is this one, and the near clipping. Okay. Anything that falls in between the two clippings is what is going to show up on the camera. Okay. Let me show you so you see. Let me type 2000 here. Okay. You can see the first clip, that's the near clipping. This line here is the near clipping. Okay. And then this particular one here is the far clipping. So now if I move this thing backwards, all right, if I move it backwards, you will see I'm still seeing what is inside the room, even though the camera is outside. Okay. The reason why I'm still seeing is because the near clipping is still inside the bedroom. So what happens if I drag it out? You see, it's not as if the camera is outside, but the camera has been outside since. But then the near clipping, which I had just turned on from this camera settings in environment and clipping tab. Okay. So if I should take it in, we don't even need to go this back. All right. So we just need to come somewhere around here. Okay. Like so. Yeah. See, we are now seeing the things in the bedroom even better. All right. Like so. Now I need to balance this camera a bit. Okay. Let me turn on my image comp helper so that you see. I need to balance this camera a bit. It is pointing up too much. Okay, it is pointing down too much. Yeah, it is pointing down too much, right? I need to take the target up. And mind you, we have turned off the target. Let me select the camera. We have turned off the target. All right. Is it that you do it with the target or you do it with tilt and shift in the camera? Okay, so we're going to use the shift tool. Okay, we're going to now take the target up a bit, like so. I think it's let me go further a bit, like so. Yeah, of course, it's okay now. Let me set this, the yeah, like so. I'll take it back a bit. All right. Let me just select the camera. That 5 please. It's too much. All right. So let me turn off this shift, this save. Okay. All right. So yeah, let me make sure that this is on the wall. Like so. Okay. The bed is not even centralized. Let's go ahead and centralize it. Like so. And push it in a little bit more. Like so. Yeah. Yeah. So we appreciate the nice stand even more. Yeah. Now, yeah, this is the reading table. So, like I said, we're going to be creating floor generator. We're going to be using floor generator and a special kind of material for the floor generator. Okay, we're going to be using multi-texture. Okay, multi-texture is a plugin by CG Source. Okay, I'm going to put the link in the description so you can be able to download it. Okay, the floor generator too is also a plugin. I'll put every of the links that you need to get everything you need to be able to follow along with this tutorial in the description. So do check the description for your own links and files. Okay, so they can follow along. All right, I'm going to isolate this floor like so, and I'm going to come over here, and then I'm going to draw a line. Okay, the floor generator works with shapes. Okay, I'm going to maximize this Alt W to maximize this viewport. All right, yeah. So we have our shape, the rectangle, which is where it is supposed to be at the surface, like so. All right. So let's go ahead and create our floor generator. So I'm going to select the shape that we just created, and I'm going to come over here to the modify tab. I'm going to drop the list down, and I'm going to type floor generator. All right. I'm going to type it. All right, because I've used it before, it remembers the settings I used before. So I'm just going to walk you through it. Okay. In the max length, okay. Yeah, I think we can still make some changes here. Let's change it to 15 mm. And max width, let's change it to 100. All right. Okay. So in the bevel, the next thing we're going to set is the grout length. Actually, let's set the grout length. Let's set it to 1 millimeter. Okay. And let me see. Let's even be seeing what we are doing. Okay. And extrude. Let's change extrude to 10 millimeters. And then change bevel to 2 millimeters. Okay. That's better. That's better. Let me change it to clear. And then add some edge to it. Oh. Clay. And add some edge to it. All right. Okay. That's way better. Okay, we're going to be using this, and when we apply materials to it, we're going to be using multi-texture. But for now, let's just leave the geometry that we've created. Okay. Let's see it from this. Okay. See it here. See it over here. Let's go to wireframe mode and see what's going on. We need to raise the models up a little bit, especially the ones touching the ground. We need to raise it up because right now they are underneath the floor generator that we just created. So I'm going to select all of them like so. Control Z. I'm going to raise it up just to be on top of the floor generator. These two. Okay. Just on top. All right. Yeah. So for now, we are done with setting up our scene. Okay. The next thing we need to do is to set up our light. Okay. We're going to be working with, like I said, we're going to be working with artificial and natural lighting. All right. So first thing first, let's set our renderer, because one thing we like is as we start setting it, we will start doing interactive render to see what it is we're doing. So I'm going to set, first light I'm going to set as usual is the environment light. So hit 8 on your keyboard. Is either you do that or you go to rendering, see environment, you click it, same thing, click 8 on your keyboard, the same thing. So I'm going to click on none. Okay. Going to go to Corona. I'm going to set it to Corona Sky. Okay. Maybe in future tutorial, we'll start using HDRI maps. Okay. But for now, I don't think there is any need, right? Because I want a clear scene. Okay. We are not going to be seeing the sky anyway. So we'll be able to still get what we want with this. All right. So I am going to, let me come over here first. There are some things I like to set whenever I am about to start a render. I'm going to turn off this fast preview because I don't like the way the noise, looks. It smudges everything. I want to see what it is that I'm doing, and I want it to be crisp. All right. And I'm going to lock this viewport to this camera like so. So let's start. Let's see what we have. Oh, sorry. And we need to do material override. Okay. We need to do material override. So we appreciate. We need to do material override. Okay. Later we'll deal with the materials, but for now, let's override the material so we can set our lights. Okay. So I will select this and I'm going to override. I'm going to apply glass material to this. Okay. I will be using the default material. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to right click and apply. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to select material override, and I'm going to add this selected object, this particular one. I'm going to add it. Okay. I'm going to add it to the excluded, object, so that, I've applied glass material to it so that it will allow light to pass through it, being glass material. But if I don't do that, all the object in this thing will be overridden using this Corona legacy material. Okay, yeah. So now that I've turned on my material override, let's go ahead and see what we have. Okay, yeah. As you can see, it's already looking so good. You see, we have this light rushing into this place just like we want it to. Okay, we need to add more light over there. We need to add, portal light. All right. So to do that, do it on this left elevation. Let me minimize this. And then we're going to go over to the light. Okay. I'm going to select Corona. I'm going to set it to rectangle. Okay. Leave everything as it is for now. I'm going to drag it like so. Let me see. Yeah. The full length of the window. And I'm going to bring it out. All right. So let's see what is going on. Aha. That's too much. So it's time for us to do our thing. In the top mapping, highlight compression, going to, okay. For now, let's leave it at, let's make it 10, okay. So we need to reduce this light. Okay, we need to reduce the light. Okay, so I've selected it. I'm going to make it like 10. Okay. Going to make it like 5. No, 10 is okay. And also we need to set some things here. Right now it is occluding other lights. Nothing is passing through it. Now, both it and the environment light is entering the scene. All right, so there are various ways we can work on our white balance. Okay, we can use this, to set our white balance, which we normally do. Okay, but I'm going to show you another way you can easily do it. And that way is by just adding the Corona Sun. We're going to be adding Corona Sun in this particular view. So I'm going to stop the interactive render and I'm going to go to the top view. Okay, let me switch to wireframe mode. All right, so I'm going to select the Corona Sun. All right, so I want it to go like this. So the way you draw it is you click and you hold and you drag the direction. Okay, and you raise. When you release it, you now raise it to the height you want. Okay, let me see. Yeah, it's not looking bad. Let's see what we have. Don't know whether we're going to work on it further. Okay, so as you can see, that the white balance is almost there. We might need to still work on it a bit, but it's almost there. All right, so now we have, to some extent, we have set our natural lights. Okay, so I suggest we go and do something called the light mix. Okay, with the help of light mix, we can always, work on our lights even when we are done with the rendering. Okay, we can increase the intensity, the color, change some things, turn some on, turn some off. Okay, so I will show you how we are going to set it off now before we proceed creating other lights that we're going to have in this scene. All right, so moving forward, let's go over to the render setup. This is where we're going to set it. In the scene tab, you're going to see setup light mix. Okay, so I'm going to click on it. Okay, it is the instant light is going to be selected. Leave it as it is, and then click generate. All right. Over here in the light mix, you're going to see the Corona Sun. You're going to see the Corona light. You're going to see environment. This is the portal light that we just added. So I'm going to select it and I'm going to rename it to portal. All right. This is the sun. I'm going to leave it as Corona Sun. It's still okay. Okay. So I'm going to right click again and I'm going to render. Okay. So when you come over here, you are going to see the light mix. All right. These are the lights in this scene. This is the environment light. You can see the effect of the environment light. Okay. This is the portal light. You can see the effect. This is the corona sun. All right. And then these are other lights that I have not, grouped in this scene. All right. So the brightness is actually much. So I am going to reduce some things. First of all, we need to figure out what is, bringing the too much light. So I'm going to adjust everything a bit. Okay. But for now, let me just leave everything as one. Okay. Let me leave everything as one. Doesn't matter. Okay. Just turn some things off so we can work on lights. All right. Yeah. Just going to leave it like this for now. So I am going to come over here and then it is time for us to put artificial lights. All right. So I'm going to start with the bedside lamps. Okay. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to open it. This is a lamp. All right. And this also over here is a lamp. So I'm going to select both of them and I'm going to exclude them from the material override so we can work on them. Okay. And also this over here, I'm going to put light in these compartments. And then the last light we're going to put is spotlight, which I'm going to put using this thing over here. This geometry. This is the spotlight model. All right. So first things first, I'm going to start with this. All right. So yeah, of course, we're going to put light inside here and I'm going to select the glass material. So let's start doing the interactive render again. That's good. We already have this material here. So what I want to do basically is to, okay, you can see, to improve the light that we are having from this material. So I'm going to add a light inside it. Okay. And this light I'm going to add is going to be a sphere light. But then I want the materials to be the same thing. To do that, I'm going to open my material editor and I'm going to pick this material over here. Okay. Okay. So yeah. Going to select this. I'm going to apply this one. I'm going to select and I'm going to apply this one. So when I come over here, okay, now I have the same materials in the two places. All right, I'm going to stop it. Okay. And I'm going to add an additional light inside. So going to isolate this. I'm going to come over to light, corona light, change the shape to sphere. So I'm going to draw something like this. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to, okay, everything is already set. The visibility, every is set. So I'm going to just select it and then I'm going to duplicate it. All right. Make it an instance. Duplicate it to make it an instance. Duplicate it to an instance. Okay. Why I'm making it instance is because I want if I make any change to one, it is going to affect all of them. Okay, so that's the reason for making it instance. When I copy, I set it as instance. So they are basically the same light. So any change I make to one affects all. All right. So first things first, I want the temperature to be, warm, like warm colored light. You can see the sample here, how it's going to look. So now when I render again, let's see what we're going to have. Okay, it's already warm. All right. You can see the light shining around now. I want this material to be obscure. I don't want to be seeing this metal pass through it. So I'm going to just go and change the materials to an opaque glass. Okay, we have an opaque glass over here. You can see them. Okay, I think we should try something. Let's try this one first and see what we're going to get. All right. So I think I should make this light visible now. Because now we are not seeing the light and the material that was there before used to shine. Okay, so I think the best thing for us to do is turn on the visibility of this now, and then turn it on in refraction. Yeah. Okay, so you see, we no longer see the no longer see the metal, the steel, this black metal that is passing through the light. And I like it that way. I like it better than like this. So yeah, we are going to leave this light. I think we should just work on the intensity a little bit more. It's not that intense. It's 10 now. Let's make it 15 and see. Yep. Think it's better now. All right, so the other lights by the bedside, which is this. Okay, we need to work on the materials as well. Okay. This has a lot going on, which is good. I'm just particular about the light source, which is this. This is Corona basic light. Oh. Okay. This particular object is using self-illumination as is. Okay. So what we can do is we can change it to coronal light material, but I suggest we just leave it the way it is and add our own light inside instead. Okay. That would be better. All right. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to just the same thing with it, sphere light, okay? And then select and add light inside. All right, so now I'm going to raise it up to that lamp. Okay. Now it is visible. We don't want it to be visible. Okay. We don't want it to be visible, but we want the intensity to be felt. So I'm going to make it like 20, 30. 50. Maybe increase the size a little bit more. Yeah, we're getting somewhere. Increase it a little bit more. And then turn off all these visibility settings. Okay. So now we have the light showing up here. I will now have the effect in the environment. All right. Let's make this 60. All right. Okay. Let's leave that alone for now. But you know what? I feel like we should change it to light material. But in a second thought, let's leave it. So the next thing we need to do is we need to set the light that is going to be in this, in this cupboard here. So I'm going to stop this and I'm going to start drawing them. All right. So I'm going to enter perspective mode here. Press P on your keyboard to enter perspective mode and go out of the camera. So now I can see the cabinet spaces that we have. We have here, okay, we have here, we have here, we have here, and then we are going to have light here in all the compartments. All right, so I'm going to put it in plan mode, the top view. Okay, I'm going to come over here, go to that same light, select light, change it to rectangle light. All right, and I'm going to draw a light that will go from beginning to the end of the opening, like so. Okay, I'm going to add 20 here. All right, I think that's what we need, the size we need. So I'm going to go to the front view. All right, then raise it up. I'm going to make duplicates of it to where, we are going to have the same type of line. I'm going to set it as instance. We're going to have it here. We're going to have it here. And we are also going to have it here. Now I'll create the smaller ones, the ones that is going to fit into these spaces. Okay, so that's the top view. I'm going to select light too. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to add the light like so. All right, so I'm going to come over here. I'm going to change it to 20. Let's see what we're having. Okay. So yeah, the front view. Okay. Here is the light. So I'm going to make duplicates of it all over the place. I'm going to use instance so that we are going to have the same light that when I make changes to one, it affects all. All right. Good. Yeah. So now let's go back to our camera view and see what we already have. Okay. Okay. So we need to take the light down a notch. Okay, it's looking too high. So I'm going to select this and I'm going to reduce it by half. That's make it 30, sorry. 20. This other one too. Let's make it 20. For now, we're going to leave it like that. All right. So it is time for us to work, with on our, what is it called? spotlight. Okay, we are going to add light. I'm going to show you how to, edit it and add light, and then add IES light into it so that you create those nice shapes on the wall when you render it. Okay, so I'm going to stop it now, and I'm going to edit this material. This is a group. So I'm going to select this one. I'm going to apply a plastic material to it. I'm going to apply this black plastic to it. Matte black. Why is it not? Let's drag it to this place. Okay, so yeah, I've applied the black material to it. Now let's apply light material to the glass part, so we can be seeing an indication of light when we render. If not, we are going to be seeing light, but we're not going to be seeing what is shining the light. That's why I always add the light material. Okay, this is the corona light, and I'm going to make it like this is not what will be shining out the light, but it is going to be showing light on it. I don't know if you understand. Like, okay, let me not just do it now. Let me create it and leave it for now. When the time is right, I'm going to show you what I mean by that. I'm going to reduce the saturation a bit. I need it to be warm, but not too warm. You understand? Yeah, like this. All right, so I'm going to leave it for now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and, let me close this group. Okay, and then I want to go and exclude it from the material override. All right, yeah. So I'm going to add the lights. I'm going to add a disk light. So corona in this shape, drop it down and select the disk light. All right, like so. I'm going to raise it up. I'm going to isolate both of them so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to raise it up to this level. Just as it's about to touch it, then I'm going to, yeah. All right. So with this now, you can come over here, turn off everything. Yeah, it's already off, okay? It's already set to 20. We're going to leave it like that for now, but I'm going to take this thing up too because I don't want it to be this warm. Okay, I'm going to make it 5.5. Yeah, that's cool. Then to add the IES, you come over here, you see IES. If you change this, you click on this none, it will take it to where IES is. All right, so let's use this first one. You can try out any one you want, but this first one is the one. For the purpose of this tutorial, let's use this first one, okay? This is what we're going to have. So I'm going to select all of them, and I'm going to right click and then group it. You probably will not see group inside here. You will see it above here on your menu tab, okay? On your menu bar. So when you select, you come over here. The same thing I did, you select group, you see group underneath it. You just select it. I've modified, my user interface in the way that is going to be easier for me to work with. Okay? You can do the same too. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to show you how to, remodify or reorganize your user interface so that you can, work faster with it. All right. So yeah. Yeah, I said I would show you something about how the importance of using light material with this. Now let's go ahead and do a render. Okay. Let's start an interactive render. You can see a light shining on this bed. Okay. And it is this light that is shining, but we're not seeing any light shining that light. Okay, so this is where the materials comes in very handy. The light material. So when I select it and select this part now, and then I go inside here and I add this to it. Now you can see the light shining from this, the light bulb that we have in the spotlight. And then when you see this thing, you say, okay, this is what is shining the light. All right. So that is the reason. All right. So let me just close this and then close this too. It is time for us to duplicate it all over the place. So I'll hold down shift and then instance. So if I decide to make any changes to it, okay, if I decide to make any changes to it, and the reason why it is not showing anything is because I have not excluded this material override. Okay, so when I come over here and I exclude it too, you see it will be shining like the other one. Okay, so let's duplicate and then select all of them and then exclude them. Okay, so that we'll appreciate what we have done even more. So I'm going to take one here. So have that nice pattern on the wall. Okay, just like so. You can see it shining down there. We are still going to make this light very intense. But for now, let's leave it like it is, as it is. Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm getting that nice. Yeah. So yeah, we need to, we need to add it in this place. Inside here, over here. Like so, instance, everything instance. So it is time for us to increase the intensity to, let's say, 40, and let's see what's going to happen. As you can see, yeah, everything is shining out. Even on the ground. No, I think the 30 was cool. Please, we don't need the too much intensity. Yes. Yep. Looking good. Let's turn on our Corona. Corona is too. This Corona sun is much. So let's work on the Corona sun. Okay, I'm going to select it. I'm going to come over here. You see the intensity and you see the side. I'm going to reduce the intensity to 0.7. I'm going to reduce it to 0.2. Yeah, I think it's cool now. I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to reduce this to 0.5. Okay, yeah. By the time we turn on materials too, everything is going to be, we might need to still work on this thing, but for now, let's just, set it in a way that we're going to be comfortable with it. All right. So, yeah. Of course, I think our light is all set. Okay, we have our saturation. We don't really need to touch all these things for now. Okay, we'll touch them later when we start working with material, which is what we're going to start working on now. All right, so to do that, we need to do something first. We need to go and turn off our material override by unchecking this button. Okay. Yeah. So let's try and see what we're going to see, what we're going to get. Exactly. So we have some materials that are not Corona materials that we need to sort out. All right. So we have materials from this wall, and we have materials. In fact, materials all over that are not. And then we also have the issue of materials that are not, the maps that are not relinked. Okay. That is why this thing is showing as black. Okay. So first things first, let's relink the bitmap. And then we deal with the materials that are not Corona materials. Okay. So I'm going to do it the old fashioned way. I'm going to browse, select browse, just in case you don't have this. Okay, just in case you don't have this, I'm going to select browse. Sorry, let me do it again. I'm going to select browse. Okay, then I'm going to go over to my desktop. This is where the file is, and then resources. Okay, and then I'm going to select folder, and I'm going to hit relink. Okay, I could have just easily selected desktop and hit it will still relink it, but because I know that every file that I'm using for this tutorial is inside that resources, that's why I clicked it, and you can see all the maps has been relinked. So I'm going to close it out for now. Okay, so I'm going to set this to clear mode. I'm going to select the ceiling, and I'm going to just apply a default corona. We don't even need a default corona material to it. Okay, wall, we just come down here. We're going to use this semi-gloss. Then we're going to apply it. Then I'm going to hide it in view. So now I'm going to select this. I'm going to select this. We are going to change the material of those walls. Okay, I'm going to select this. I'm going to select this. Okay. I'm going to select this. I'm going to select this. This also. Yeah. I'm going to come over here. Like I told you, we're going to be creating our own material in today's tutorial. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to select Corona Legacy material. And I'm going to change it, a bit more. Going to change the shader, okay, to something beigey. That is what I need. Okay. So okay. I'm going to set the reflection to 1, and I'm going to set the glossiness to. For now, I'm going to set it to 0.8. Still to 0.6. Sorry. 0.6. Yeah. And then I'm going to apply the material all over. Okay. So now when we render, we're going to see something like this. Let's unhide the ceiling, please. All right, so we still have this material over here. This material, I want it to be white. So I'm going to use white material for it. Okay. So I'm going to select a default material. Okay, I'm going to select the satin default material. This one. I'm going to bring it in. So I'm going to select by material. We need to be seeing what we select. So I think I need to set it display selected. Yeah, so when I select something, I should see it. So I'm going to apply this to so everything is selected. So I'm going to just select this and then apply this material to it. Okay, so that's it. So I'm going to, okay, like so. All right. We need to work on this material a bit more because I don't like the way it is shining on this wall. It's too dark. Please, 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 please. Yeah, something light. Okay, something light like this. All right, yeah. We're still going to put in maps though, but all right, so let's do it now. Okay, so we can start working. We're going to be using beige. All right. Okay. So we're going to plug this to the diffuse. Okay. As you can see, we need to make some changes to this. All right. But before we do that, let's add the other maps that we need to add. Okay. We need to add. We need to add the reflection map. That's the reflection color. We need to add the reflective gloss. We need to add the normal too. Wait a minute. Let me stop this. So we need to be able to use the map, the reflective. We need to add a normal map. Let's go over to Corona material. We're going to see Corona normal. Okay, we're going to pass this through here, and then we're going to add gamma input to input, and we're going to pass it through the bump. So this particular one, we're going to take it through the reflective gloss, and this one through the reflective color, and this second one through the reflective gloss. And there are things we need to set. I want to set this glossiness to 1, and the freshness I want to set to 2. Okay. Yeah. And also, let's see what we're going to have when I click render now. Control. Let's go in a bit and see. I think we might have to work with the UVW map a bit. But there's something inside this scene that is shining red. I wonder what that is. Let's see. Oh, okay. All right, so I'm going to stop it and I'm going to select them and I'm going to deal with them. Okay, so for this particular one, I'm going to select this. I'm going to right click, select by material, and I'm going to just use the default metal material, or I can just create a metal material here. So I'm going to bring out another. Okay, so you just have to set this to 0 and set this to 1, set this to 4. Okay, you can see we already have our metal. Set it to like 0.3. Okay. Now let's see what we're going to get. Okay, we also have this object right here that is not a corona material. So I'm going to select it and I'm going to convert it to corona material. All right. So how to do that is I'm going to stop this interactive render. Then I'm going to open Corona Converter and I'm going to make sure it is only the object that I'm selected, materials of the selected objects only, and I'm going to put it first non-metal and I'm going to convert it. All right, so now when I render again, interactive, you see the object showing up nicely. All right, so now we are having this blue tint that is shining all over the place. That is because of the floor. Now, I think it's high time that we did something about that floor. So we can modify the materials that we need to modify. It is messing up the entire feel of the scene. We are going to still work on this material on this wall. It is not giving me, it has not yet given us what we want. Okay. First things first, let's select this and apply a very, where is that shader to apply this to it so it stops messing with our heads. It's affecting my mental health. So yeah, like so. Now when we hit render, yeah, it is better now, even though it can be way better. We're going to work on the material. We need to work on the material of this bed. I need everything to be white except the bed upholstery, or everything can even be white except this. All right, so we're going to be doing that after we are done adjusting this material. Okay, I need it to show me that texture that I added to it. So to do that, I'll have to change this into default shading. Now we're not seeing the things inside this scene properly. For us to be able to adjust that, we have to come down here, view preference. Okay, come over here. Is set to 1 default light, set it to 2 default lights, and then hit OK. Now you can see everything is showing up, better than they were before. So I'm going to come over here this is that material, and I'm going to make this visible, okay, like so. So now we can zoom in and make it as big as we need it to be. So with the object selected, that's the wall selected, I will come over here and I'm going to apply the UVW map, okay? And I'm going to set it to box, all right? I'm going to adjust it to what I'm comfortable with. Okay? I think I might even have to isolate this to... But before we proceed, let me go ahead and save this file, okay? Let me save it. Bedroom tutorial. All right, and hit save. All right, so we need to work on this material, all right, so that I'll, in a way that I'm comfortable with it. So I'm going to make it 5. Okay. Maybe not 5, maybe 10. Okay, everything 10. All right, so the same applies to this. So I'm going to just select this and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to select this too, and then I'll paste it. Okay, that just does the magic for me. I don't need to be working on it one after the other. I can just paste and it will, look nice. You get immediately. Yeah, for now everything is all set. Let's, do interactive render and see what we've got. Okay. Let's turn off the sun. We don't actually need it for now. So let's set our bloom and our sharpen and blur so we can appreciate things a bit more. Okay, you can make this 0.6, to have a more better effect. You can see the effect on the wall that we just worked on. Okay. Yeah. So the next thing we're going to work on is we're going to work on these materials. Okay, I'm going to improve this material. I'm going to make it shiny. Okay, I'm going to add materials to this wood. I'm going to add materials to this wood. I'm going to change this material to black. I'm going to change the color of this painting to match us. And then lastly, we are going to apply materials to this floor generated, floor tiles. All right, so first things first, this is calling my name. Let me go and answer it. Okay. Put it to wireframe, top view. So I'm going to select it and I'm going to isolate it. So I'll put it in default shading and then I'll open the group. All right. Yeah. So let me minimize this. So I'm going to still use the default material that comes with Corona like this. I'm going to use something with, yeah, this won't be bad. Or this. Let me use this material editor. Let's come over here and then let's create. Let's drag in. Let's drag this in. I prefer this. I like the lightness to it. It's going to go well with our scene. Okay, so I'm going to select it and I'm going to apply it. Now, all we need to do is select it and apply UVW map to it and then set it to box. Okay, so it's already looking nice. Don't even have to do nothing to it. It's already looking so nice. So I'm going to, let's just see what has happened. Okay, this is the material that we just, applied to it. It's looking nice, looking so nice, as you can see, no doubt. So I'm going to take that same energy and I'm going to bring it over here and apply it to this particular blue thing happening over here. So I'm going to stop it, all right? I'm going to select this one too. I'm going to isolate it to be sure before I go and apply wood or things I'm not supposed to apply wood to. And I'm going to, that same material, select it and then apply it to this. Just like we did before, UVW map, set it to box, turn on real world scaling. And just like that, we are good to go. I model this personally in this place. So when you model things inside 3ds Max, it comes in differently. So yeah. You can see it is affecting the general, shading of the scene now. All those default materials, there is a way they have this way of messing the scene up and making the scene look as though, I don't know how to explain it. But as you can see, this entire bed area is looking, not bad. So now we need to work on this bed. I don't like these dark shadings that it have. Okay, we need to work on the bed. I need this thing to be white. And I need this, bed head to also be white. So I am going to select it and I'm going to, open. Yeah. So material editor, I need to pick the material and bring it into here so we can edit it. This is it. All right, so we're going to add maps. Under maps, we're going to go to Corona. This particular one. We're going to go to Corona, color correct. We're going to put it here. And then we're going to use this to make it bright. Okay. You can see we're already having a bright material. All right. Even here too, we're going to have a bright material over there, just like we want. Okay. And I think we need to actually shade because this color is looking like gray. I don't know why it is looking like that. And we're going to use We're going to use that same color correction and then adjust it the way we want it to be. Okay, but for now, I think we can, take this thing down a notch. It's looking too bright. I think it was good. I think I prefer it that way than this. So the next thing we need to work on is the duvet. This right here. So we're going to still use that same color correction that we used just now. And then we're just going to make it that same 0.5 too. Let's see. As you can see, we have our light bed material. I'm going to leave the pillowcase just the way they are. The gray is good. Yeah, that's great. So let's work further on this material, the beige material we have on the wall. This is it. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to bring in the Corona Color Correct that we normally use. I'm going to put it in the diffuse. Okay. Now we have, the tint. Here we can change the tint to whatever we want. Okay. I want that beigey vibe. But now it's too much. I have to desaturate it some more. You can see it showing up here. You need to desaturate it. Desaturate. More. Yeah, we're getting the vibe. I think the vibe is becoming too much. So reduce it some more. Just want it to be, mildly yellowish, not too yellow, but mildly. Okay. How is it going to look? Let me make it big. Okay. Not quite bad. Yeah. We can, let me reduce this. Reduce, okay, maybe increase the brightness a bit. I think the brightness was okay the way it was. I have no issue with it then. It's cool now. It is actually cool. Yeah. So let's go ahead and select this artwork on the wall, so we can, make it black and white. I want that artwork to be black and white. Okay, I don't want that color that is showing inside there. And this is our artwork. Exactly. So we're going to use the general color correction. Select it and then desaturate it. We have more than one. Another one, no problem. We're going to desaturate all of them. Desaturate it. Okay. Yeah. I feel like this material we need to like desaturate the material a bit more too. Okay. So let's take it down from here. Instead of doing it from the material itself, now we can do it from here. All right, so it's time for us to work on this wood, on this material here. I need it to be glossy, sort of, and then this one too. We need to change it to black. All right, yeah. So now let's get on with it. Let's start with this one. So this is the material we have. Okay, so I'm just going to change this material to, as you can see, look at it here. I'm going to change it to black. All right. So it's going to be a reflective kind of, black vibe for the material. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to change the diffuse. I'm going to put it at default. I'm going to set this to 5. Okay, so yeah, there we have it. Yeah, I'm going to select this. I'm going to change the reflection to 1. Okay, and I'm going to change the glossiness to 0.7. Okay, this is okay the way it is. All right, yeah, cool. Can see our wooden material. Yeah, let's remove that. It's going to make it more glossy. All right, even if you remove this one too, you can still see. Okay, even if you remove this one too, this is what you're going to have. So it's just basically color. Even if I remove this one and then come over here and still come here and type in the 5, it is still basically going to give us the same thing. You don't need all this map, but it came with the map. So I'm just going to get rid of their map. We don't need it. We don't need that stuff. So this same material is what I'm going to apply to this, the legs of this stand, of that rack. Okay, so I'm going to say okay. All right, and then I'm going to, for now, let me stop this and close it. We have bigger fish to fry. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to isolate it. This is it. I'm going to select it by polygon. Yeah. So like this and like that. I'm going to select this and I'm going to apply it. Let's see what we ended up having. All right, so it's finally time for us to apply the material for the floor. All right, so I'm going to stop this for now. A little bit of tone mapping. All right. So yeah. Okay. Of course. So yeah. Let me reduce this to 3. I think it's now becoming too sharp. Make this 1. Yeah. We don't need that excess sharpness. All right. So yeah. Now it is time for us, I might say, it is time for us to work on our materials on the floor. Okay. So let's stop this. Like I said, we're going to be using multi-texture. Going to be using multi-texture. So let's just come over here and search for it. And then drag it out. Okay. You can see it from CD source. So for us to bring in the maps that we're going to use, just click on this manage texture and then add bitmaps. So I'm just going to select some of it. I think this is okay. I don't have to select all of it. Let me select one more. This is okay, Jerry. This is much. So I'm going to select these ones over here. Okay. And I'm going to attach it to Corona Legacy material. Okay. There we have it. So that is what I'm going to apply to the selected object. All right. So you can see our floor already taking shape. Now, what this multi-texture does is you are going to see different wood strips on different, parts of the floor. Okay, just like we have in real life, we don't have the same type of wood going through, because this is supposed to be wood splits. You're going to it is made up of different woods that are joined together. Okay, so like the way we do bricks. So just like that, we have this. So now this is oversaturated. We have to desaturate it. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to use let me close this. The map general, let's use the color correction here and then select and desaturate it a bit, like so. Let me put desaturate it a bit, like so. Okay. Yeah. So we need to use the same material to create, the reflection map too. So let's bring in the color correction, then pass it to the color correction. And then the other thing we need to bring in is the output, because we need the curve. We need to work on it, okay, so a bit. And then we're going to plug it to the reflective color or reflection color, whatever. So I'm going to take this saturation, I'm going to take it down. All right. So I am going to set this as the select this and turn this to 0. Okay, so we can appreciate what I've just done. This is the floor. As you can see, we're just seeing black. Well, we need to do something about it. First of all, turn it to white. Yeah. Now we are having reflection. Okay. We're having some reflections. Then this I will turn to 0.7. Okay. So let's use the output. Let's do what we enable color map. And then let's add a point somewhere here. Okay. Let's select it and turn it to Bezier. You can see the shine that we are adding to the floor. All right. Okay. So this is going to, at the end, is going to improve our material. Okay. All right. I think overall, I like the shine. This is what we had before. This is what we're having now. Okay. Yeah, I think the shine is, let me see. Yeah. So I'm going to stop it now, and I'm going to select this back, and I'm going to add one to our shader. So when I do another interactive again, we're going to have a much better floor finish. Okay, so let's not forget the bed leg that I added. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and select it, select all 4 of them, and I'm going to add a metallic. Let me just use the default aluminum that we have, that Corona has made available to us. See metals. Where is metal? Metals. Okay, so I'm going to use this. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so what do we have? We have some legs that are black. All right, so let's get rid of this. Let's come out of pan zoom. Okay, let's click on this one and hit this. Now look at what we've got. Okay, yeah. So now let's go ahead and work on our tones, our tone mappings. Okay. Just a bit. Okay. All right. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I think we need to work on this camera. Do we? No, the camera is fine. No. Let's see. Let me add some few mix shadows, to get that dramatic rich shadows. No, 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 no. I think we're going to leave the sun off for now. So we're going to add an LUT. Okay. So, but we're going to take it down, way down. Take it down even more. Oh, even more. Okay. Add the, warmth to it. Yeah. So basically, let me see. All right. I think the bloom is a bit much, so let's reduce the size to 10. Okay. Yeah. So stop. Now let's go and do our final settings. Okay, so we can, start doing our render. All right. I'm going to raise this to 3000. And I'm going to set my scene. Denoiser, I'm going to put it to Corona high quality and leave everything as it is. All right. So yeah, the way it is now, I think it's cool. So I'm going to just hit, render and wait for it to finish rendering. All right. So yeah. All right. So I've allowed it to render for a while now. And as you can see, it has finished rendering. All right. So you can see the texture on the wall and everything that we did. Okay. You can see the lights. You can see everything. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to export this file so we can go over to Photoshop and proceed with our post-production. All right. So to save, click on this button over here. Again, I want to save it to the desktop and I'm going to name it bedroom view 01. Sorry. View 01. Okay, I'm going to change the format to PNG. I'm going to override it by 2.2. Okay. Going to save. Make sure you are here and make sure your alpha channel is checked off and then hit OK. Now, we have successfully saved our file. All right. So let's minimize this for now and then open up our Photoshop where we are going to do the post-production. All right, so we have opened the file in Photoshop. Now let's go ahead and start editing. Okay, so I'm going to convert to Smart Filter. And now I'm going to Smart Layer. Sorry, not Smart Filter. So I'm going to duplicate it by clicking Ctrl J on my keyboard. And I'm going to go over to the filter and then open Camera Raw filter. Okay. All right. So the first thing we need to do, turn on the auto. Okay. And then reduce the black a bit. Reduce the contrast. Reduce the exposure. It's becoming overexposed. All right. Dehaze it a little bit. Saturation 2. A little bit of tint to it. And reduce the temperature a little bit. Okay, like so. So I want to dehaze it some more. Okay. This should be 3. Okay, or 4. All right. So I'm going to open the details and I'm going to sharpen it a bit, Okay. All right. Okay. We're beginning to lose detail here. Okay, let's just leave that the exposure. Let's reduce the shadow too a bit. Okay. And then hit OK. All right. Okay, so there are more we can do to this particular scene. So the first thing we have to do is, okay, just add like -4 here. Okay, adds that warmth to it. Okay, so I want to have like a light, I want to add like a vignette. Okay, there are easier ways to do this, but there's a way I like to do it to feather things out so that, we'll call attention to where, and I need your attention to be over here, okay, in the middle of this image. And then, to draw your attention towards the center of the image. And to do that, I'm going to use this tool over here, the marquee selection tool. And I'm going to select that, around that area. All right. So I'm going to go to selection and I'm going to go to modify and I'm going to feather it by say 200. Okay. Shift F6 will bring it out again. That's the shortcut. Let's make it like 300. All right. Yeah. So now with this selected, let me go over and add some curve. All right. So I'm going to make it a little bit brighter in the middle. Let's see. You can see. All right. And now we have to duplicate. Let's go ahead and duplicate the layer and then select this one and invert it. Click Ctrl I to invert it. Now, we now have to take this one the other way around. And you see, gradually that adds a little bit of tint to the edges of our photograph. Okay. Now, these two things, I will group them together, Ctrl G on your keyboard. So now when I turn it up, you see the effect that it's adding. It's now making you focus on the area I want you to focus, which is the center of this image. So I'm going to reduce it a bit. I'm going to make it like 80%. Okay. All right. So I want to, add a little bit of sharpness to this. Okay. So I'm going to go to the filter, Control O to centralize it. I'm going to go to the filter. I'm going to select the image, this image. I'm going to go to the filter. I'm going to go to sharpen, then on sharp mask. All right. So I'm going to keep the radius at, I want to increase the amount to, like, say, somewhere around here. Okay. You can see the effect over here. When we zoom in, you can see the sharpness showing, but I think this is rather too much, rather too intense. Let's make it like 70. Let's bring it back so that we can edit it more. Okay. So let's see. Let's reduce it some more. All right. Okay, it's like perfume, the smaller you can apply it, the better. Okay, so yeah. All right, so you can now go ahead, like we did before, add your logo or your text or whatever it is you want to add. Okay, just add it wherever you want to add it. All right, so let's go ahead and export. File, export as. Okay, PNG, you set all your necessary setups over here. Okay. I don't know why it's taking time to load. All right, so everything is already set the way they should be, and then I'm going to hit export, and it's going to ask me where I want. I'm going to put it here, edit. This is what we have before. This is what we're having now. This is what we had before. This is what we're having now. You can see this area where we have overexposure, where the light is being, taking away the details of our material. Okay. Manage to, salvage some of those things back in our post-production. Okay. You can see. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a like. Okay. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. We drop this video every once in a while. Okay. Every week we drop tutorial videos. Okay. So subscribe, not only subscribing, okay, ring the notification bell so you get notified anytime we post any new video. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.